Hey, folks, get ready to spend an hour with Bob, with Fred Ferri, Derek Shapiro, and my longtime friend, Jim Hummel, from the Hummel Report, here on An Hour with Bob. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Folks, and welcome to An Hour with Bob. I'm reading my headline here tonight. This is my list, my ice cream list. As you know, there's not anybody in the world eats more ice cream or likes ice cream more than I do. I mean, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything like that, but I love ice cream. This is my vice, ice cream. And who better to have here tonight than the owner of a Ben & Jerry's in Providence, Rhode Island. Fred Ferri's with us tonight. And we're going to talk about some of the new ice cream flavors. 39 flavors now, Fred?
39 flavors.
Fred, first of all, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for having me, Bob.
Yes. Actually, I have met you before on Thayer Street.
Yep, 224th there, actually.
224th there, right before the tunnel there, right? The
Yes.
Thayer Street tunnel.
Yep.
And already, I was over there and I took advantage of the free ice cream day.
Free Cone Day.
Now, what is that all about anyway?
Free Cone Day was originally developed by our founders, Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, as a marketing tool. And as you could see, that the line,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
the line was down to how much ice cream did you go through?
Our estimate that day, we served over anywhere between 7,000 to 8,000 people.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And do you have an idea of what was the best flavor? Cherry Garcia.
Cherry Garcia was up there, and chocolate chip cookie dough
Cookie
was
dough.
always a favorite.
Always a favorite. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Those
It
two.
is.
Those two are the top dogs.
Yep, and vanilla. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, vanilla. Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yep.
But I like anything vanilla based. I mean, I can eat any ice cream that's got vanilla in it. It's fine with me.
Vanilla is the number one flavor
Is it?
because there are many vanilla-based ice cream.
Exactly. And your coffee ice cream is phenomenal. The
Coffee-
the coffee thing. yeah.
Coffee buzz.
Coffee buzz. And I wonder if that sells anywhere else other than Rhode Island and maybe Massachusetts.
Oh, Coffee Buzz is a large seller.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, worldwide. Where Ben & Jerry's is in 42 countries.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
They're in 42 countries. Now, I've been to the plant up there in Vermont.
Yep.
Enjoying the ice cream. A couple of times I've been up there.
There's plants in Europe. There's a plant in Israel and in Africa as well.
Wow.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. My favorite flavors, well, it would take 20 minutes. You got 39 flavors, and about 25 of them are my favorite flavors that I could indulge in.
We don't make a bad flavor, and of course, you said you were up in Vermont. You saw the graveyard where Ben & Jerry pulls flavors in and out of the graveyard.
Right.
Different flavors.
Yeah.
You know.
What's working, what's not working, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Now, you've been in this business how long?
We've owned this franchise now. We're coming on our 11th year.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 years,
Yeah,
11 years.
Yep. And the location has just changed recently.
Right.
Yep.
Because of that big overhaul over there on Thayer Street. My God, they're
Yeah.
building that, 257th there or something like that it's
Yeah,
called?
fourth floor dormitory, I guess.
Big money.
Housing, yes.
big money.
Yep.
How many millions of dollars does that cost?
Oh, I'm sure that was that's up there.
I've heard 18 million. I'm sure it's probably higher than that.
I think it's higher than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the property alone there.
Exactly.
Cost of the property.
Well, they took Squires, which was a fixture over there.
Yes.
And I know the owner of Squires. He's been on my show. In fact, years ago, I had stickers made, Bob's Big Adventure and An Hour with Bob, the two shows I do. And some people would have put their names on the sticker. And I'd pass the stickers out at all major events, all across the state and into Massachusetts, because this show also airs in parts of Massachusetts several times a week. So when I go to an event, I could pass out 2,000 stickers sometimes. It was amazing how people. In fact, when I went over to visit the troops in Bosnia for Christmas one year, we went to Tezar, Hungary, and then we ended up going to 2 orphanages in Bosnia years ago. I gave stacks of stickers to the National Guard and the Marines that were over there. And when they come back, they were telling me they put them on everything. They put them on MiG fighters, Russian MiGs and Russian tanks, and they put them on, even put them on a guard dog, which I said, I'm not taking credit for that one. I don't want the animal rights people after me about that. But the stickers just went everywhere. In fact, I ran out of them. I gotta do them again. I used to do 10,000 at a time. A couple of times 20,000. Because in the Bristol 4th of July parade, my God, I go through several thousand stickers down there.
Yep.
Anyway, besides Ben and Jerry's, you do something else there,
Yes.
Fred Ferri.
I am the owner of Nature's Comfort Meds Research and Development. So I have a patent method of extraction that is patented nationally and
internationally.
Yes. So
extraction of.
I work with the medical marijuana plant, in which I have capabilities of drawing out the highest concentrations of cannabinoids known to man.
Really?
Yes.
Now, would that help a person like me, a chronic pain sufferer? What you do?
Absolutely.
Because I don't like smoke. I don't like the smell of smoke or the taste of smoke.
This is oil. This is all an oil extraction. Cancer, Parkinson's, chronic pain. It's touching diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
Really?
I also have a topical, a salve, in which for rheumatoid arthritis. Arthritic people, and
it works.
You rub it on, and in 30 seconds, it can have you dancing around the room.
Cut it out.
Absolutely.
So you can help my chronic pain, because I'm in terrible pain right now, believe it or not.
Well, I'm going to help you, Bob, and I'll enjoy doing that.
Oh, well, I would really enjoy if you did it, because I've been everywhere. I've been to Mass General, University of Massachusetts, the Leahy Clinic, the Spine Institute in Clearwater, Florida. I've had 5 back operations, 3 knee operations. I have a total replaced knee, but the pain is excruciating.
I was able to develop my method of extraction with some of the top Ivy League schools, and I am a caregiver for 3 of our top hospitals in Rhode Island, in which I take care of children.
Yeah,
and
I know that.
as well.
Exactly. You're taking care of a child or 2 right now, right?
Yes. Yep.
That have severe problems.
They have brain tumors.
Oh my God.
Yes.
See, that's heartbreaking to see it. Children. I've been over there with the Toys for Tots. I've been to the hospitals, hospital in Providence. Hasbro's
Children's.
And giving out toys to kids and visiting kids, and over the years that have had, especially burn victims, because I was a burn victim as a kid. I got burnt in a fire when I was 6 years old. And it's, oh my God, it's unbelievable to see a young kid in pain. You want to take the pain right off them.
As a young boy, I always idolized what Danny Thomas did with St. Jude's Hospital.
Right.
And
and his daughter followed suit.
applaud his daughter for what she's doing today with those kids. It's a wonderful thing.
Yes, yes. And what you're doing, obviously, is a pretty damn good thing yourself, huh?
Yep.
Now, what brings you to that? Why?
Back In February 10th, 1988, I lost my mother to cancer.
Oh,
So I didn't believe that there was not a cure out there besides chemotherapy and radiation.
Right.
And there
which beats the hell out of you.
it
My
does.
mother died of cancer,
It does. It really.
ovarian cancer.
It beats you up.
So what you're doing, what you're working on, is an effective alternative to some of these other methods and some of these other.
Yes, it is. It's all natural, organic, and it's an herb, so there's no side effects.
Wow. And like you said you have patents from both U.S. patents and international
And international.
patents
Yes.
that you can go anywhere with it.
Yep.
So where does it stand now? Where does the
Well,
what is it called anyway?
We call it's syrup number 1, in which we call it's made by Nature's Comfort Meds. Israel has been working with medical marijuana for years. Cannabis has been around. It's documented back in the year 250. They've been using cannabis.
Wow. Now, speaking about cannabis, what do you think about the legalization of marijuana?
The recreational use of marijuana, I'm 110% against.
Thank you, because
110.
I am too. Because
Totally
I've been
against.
over to Amsterdam, and I see it. The effects, the negative effects, far exceed the positive effects, and people looking at it as a money issue. And you look at it, I see these kids. I had a guest on here two weeks ago, a woman. She works with the colleges, a pretty liberal person, and she's talking about how, let them do anything, get everybody out of prison that isn't convicted of a real violent crime, and let them start over again because they made one mistake, some of them. Well, that may be true in some cases, but there's a whole lot of them I wouldn't want in my living room.
Absolutely. I agree.
But to think that already it's difficult, the kids in this generation already are not, I don't think they're as sharp as the kids 20, 30, 40 years ago. They certainly don't have the work ethic.
Recreational use I'm totally against that, and especially for the young mind, the young, undeveloped mind. Absolutely no good.
Now, when you say young, undeveloped, how young?
There's some reports out that as far as like in their 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you think, I see kids today, I mean, they wouldn't even know where the dipstick is and check the oil of a car, let alone change it. Change
Absolutely.
it, forget about it, they're all out of it.
No.
Or change a tire on a car, and now you've got to make it easier for them to not do anything. I just don't get it. I don't see the benefit of legalizing it, other than what they call is the financial benefit.
Tax. Yeah, I don't agree
It's
with
short-sighted. I think it's very short-sighted.
that. It is.
And I've said that once you open up that door, you can't close it again.
No. I'm strictly medicinal. This is real medicine, and it's proven to help people.
Yeah, and medicine's different than taking a drug just to get high.
Exactly.
Just to
Feel
not
good.
feel unlike what you're supposed to feel.
Right.
But not being able to function, to sit around and have the munchies or something.
Right.
Really, it slows you down. Everybody says it. Nobody disagrees with that.
It does.
It slows you down. You're less likely to do anything or want to do anything. And by the way, where are they going to get all the money to buy this stuff?
Right.
If the kids are not working because they're high, they're not going to have any money to buy it.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword. It doesn't make sense to me.
And we got to worry about the crime.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I said. Well,
Yep.
what do you think? They're going to be robbing houses, more houses than they rob now.
Right.
And there'll be more problems, like the kid that jumped over the took a swan dive 7 stories up, and I don't know where it was, and I think it was where was it? Where was that? The kid went off the balcony. 7 stories.
Oh,
up.
that was in
Vegas?
one of the colleges, right, or something?
Oh, was it? No, maybe
Yeah.
it was a college, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
it was a college. And the other guy, the guy that killed his wife, the wife's on the phone with the cops telling him, my husband's going crazy because they're eating, they weren't even drinking, they weren't even smoking it. They were eating brownies or something made
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And there's no restrictions, there's no proportion that they're supposed to take or portion that you're supposed to
Right.
take. So
Yep.
I don't know. But what you got now is where do you stand with your patent? Where do you stand with it?
The patents right now are pending. They are in the U.S. Patent Office, and we should be getting. Well, we get information every day on them, so they are
cool.
moving along. So
Yeah?
it's good. Yeah. Yep.
Well, and then what do you hope to do once you get the patent?
Once we get the patent, I would like to team up with one of the large pharmaceutical companies to really in clinical studies to really show everyone what this plant is all about.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be willing to try it, I'll tell you that, because I go to bed, as I told you off camera, between 2 and 4 in the morning, and I'm up between 6 and 7 in the morning.
Can definitely help you there.
That's
Bob.
it, that's as much sleep as I can get. All right, on the high side, want to do some ice cream?
Sure.
Well, folks, here we are with Fred Ferri of Ben & Jerry's. You know, I'm in my glory right now. And Fred brought us a few flavors here.
We
What do we
do.
got here? This is Greek, no, what?
Greek frozen yogurt. We got blueberry vanilla graham.
Greek frozen. Oh, I'll be hitting that in a minute. Oh, you got
Yep.
chocolate fudge brownie.
Yep. This is a frozen yogurt, a little lighter in calorie.
Right.
Chocolate fudge brownie, and then we have one of the staples, half baked.
Half baked. What is that?
Which is half baked is we combine the chocolate fudge brownie with the chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh, God.
So that's
And what do you got here? Oh, salted caramel.
yep, salted caramel with a core. So we have a
Now,
salted.
Is this new? This core there? You got the
Yes.
core of the caramel. You got a whole bunch of caramel right in the middle, huh? The new
Right in the
core.
middle.
Well, I can do this because it's my show, right?
This-
Salted caramel, huh?
This is very, very popular right now. The supply and demand on this, very good.
My problem with that is, I open that container,
You gotta
I eat the whole thing.
That's a good problem
Without a doubt, I would eat that whole thing.
for production. It's a good problem.
For production. Now, what do we got here? That's my jam.
That's my jam, another core brand, very popular as
What
well.
is it? What's in it?
We have chocolate and raspberry ice cream with fudge chips in that one.
Oh, that's almost like a little bit of a spin-off of Cherry Garcia or something.
It's
With
cherry ice cream.
with the black with the
raspberry.
chocolate base
Yes.
instead of the vanilla base.
Yep,
Here we go. Bottoms up.
and that's got a raspberry core in it, so very, very good.
I never found an ice cream I didn't like. Now, half baked.
Half baked. That's
Now you say that's a popular.
extremely, very
Yeah.
popular.
Now that's got what? Chocolate and vanilla ice cream mixed with globs of chocolate chip cookie dough and fudge brownies.
Oh yeah. Low in calories, huh?
Oh yeah.
Right
I
to
am
the
telling
waist.
you, Fred, I have eaten ice cream for breakfast, for lunch,
Oh yeah.
and for dinner on the same day. I'm serious.
Ice cream connoisseur.
Yeah, you were shocked when I told you when I knew all the stuff in the ice creams.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can eat the stuff that comes out of my ears. I want to go to the Greek because I only got
Sure.
4 spoons here. So now, where do you get the idea of Greek? What is that all about?
The Greek yogurt is supposed to be the best yogurt in the world.
Didn't one of those yogurt companies have trouble in England or something about using the word Greek?
I'm not sure about
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't ice cream. It was a yogurt company that Dannon, I think it was. They stopped them from using the word Greek because it didn't come from Greece. Something happened there.
Well, this is real Greek yogurt that we use.
That's amazing. All of them are amazing. And I'll have to wait till I get another spoon after to try the fudge brownie. Now where in Vermont is Ben & Jerry's? What town?
Headquartered in Burlington, Vermont.
Burlington. But the actual, the production facility is outside of Burlington, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's right outside of Burlington. Because
It's
I've
right
been
outside.
to it a couple of times. Because
Yep.
my son used to live in Milton, Vermont. And I used to drive up there every other Friday.
That's
And
way up there.
Oh, it sure is. It was a 11 to 12 hour trip, round trip. Round trip. I didn't just drive up there. Drove up there, picked them up, and drove back. That was a ride. That was a real ride. So you're open how often over there?
We are open 7 days a week.
Oh, thank you, John. Seven days a week?
Yep. We are there Monday through Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 11 to 11, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're there till
Midnight.
Midnight.
Wow, 11 in the morning till midnight. So you want some yogurt, you want some ice cream, you know where you're going. I know I'm going, because I love Dare Street anyway. Dare Street's an eclectic place.
It is.
And by the way, they're making some major changes over there, you know.
They are.
They're having, I think they're having some kind of a press conference tomorrow or Wednesday.
In regards
Over there,
to
right on the
construction.
corner, about revitalizing the whole area.
Avenue,
Of Thayer Street. I mean, it's a great street. It's a fun street to be on.
It is. It really is.
And you're down in, you're on the upper level of that building that it's like halfway up and down. You got like
Yes.
it was a travel agent or something downstairs.
Yes.
Right before.
Yeah. There is there's a card reader downstairs and a pipe store.
Oh, okay. Because
Yep.
it's been a few things, but
Oh,
you're right up on the upper level, which
Right.
which
Right
is good.
next door to Paragon Restaurant.
Exactly. Which is a great restaurant. By
It
the way.
is.
I like the Paragon.
So good food and better
Good-
dessert. Right?
Better ice cream. Oh yeah, I'm going to have some more of this after. So, Fred, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Now,
for having me.
again, this before I let you go, because I want to learn more about this. What you're doing with the medical version of marijuana, non-smoking. You're extracting the oils from the marijuana plant.
Yes.
And you're turning it into a viable medicine for people with chronic pain and people with disabilities.
Absolutely. On my board, Nature's Comfort Med, sits General Reginald Centracchio.
My good friend.
Yep. Dr. Henry Levin, Armin LaMontagne.
Oh my God!
And we're going to be.
Wouldn't you look at my list? Armin's been here several times. I've been at the studio several times.
Yep. So General Centracchio and the doctors of the VA understand what my medicine will do for post-traumatic. So we are going. We're going to meet with the Senator Jack Reed for the second time now, because we can help our young men and women coming home overseas, instead of getting a prescription of OxyContin.
Right.
They can get our medicine and make themselves better.
It's something they can't abuse, like they could
Exactly.
with OxyContin and all that
Right.
stuff.
Not abusive.
Already, I thought I was going to have a wonder drug, and before I got a shot to try it, they already banned it in Massachusetts because of the people that are drug addicts that abuse the medication.
Yeah.
They know how to take it. It's a time-release drug, and they snort it, so they get it immediately.
And it kills them.
And it kills them. So I get denied the opportunity to have a better life by having a medication that will help me and all the other chronic pain sufferers. We get denied it because of the people that are abusing it.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's all over the country.
Yeah.
Well, Fred, thank you for stopping by.
Bob, thank you very much for
And
having
keep in
me
touch. And I want to be on the trials.
will.
I want to be I want to be one of the first ones to try the medication.
Absolutely.
All right?
Yes, sir.
I will be right back with our next guest on An Hour, Bob. You'll never believe who's here tonight.
Providence's waterfront is not the only part of the city that has been revitalized. Its historic corridors have also been restored to their Revolutionary era glory. But that almost didn't happen. In the 1950s, the city of Providence planned to raise and redevelop part of historic Benefit Street, which runs through this area. The Providence Preservation Society, established to protest the raising, offered up a plan to preserve the whole street. Today, Benefit Street is home to one of the largest concentrations of historic architecture in the nation. A few blocks to the east of Benefit Street sits one of America's oldest and most prestigious universities. Brown University opened its doors to students in 1765 and was the only school that welcomed students of all religious persuasions. The university began as Rhode Island College, but was renamed in 1804 after a man named Nicholas Brown gave what at the time was a large financial gift, $5,000. In today's money, the equivalent of about $76,000. Across the street from the main quadrangle at Brown sits the John Hay Library. Hay, a Brown alumnus, served as Abraham Lincoln's private secretary during the Civil War and later became Secretary of State. The library houses a collection of rare books, including 3 that feature an unusual binding: human skin. Although it sounds grisly, in the late 1800s, it wasn't unusual to bind books with human skin from cadavers.
Well, folks, we're back on an hour with Bob, and after having a little ice cream, I come back with my good friend. Been on the show many, many times. He does a very good job as an investigative reporter. Here's one man that has been on radio, television, and newsprint over the decades, and he's become a good friend for 20 years, I guess. Jim Hummel, how you doing?
Bob, nice to be back. How are you?
Nice to see you.
I'm a little hurt that you haven't worked me into the open yet. How many times do I have to be on this show before
We got to get him in the open. We got to come on. We got to get him in the open.
I'm not coming on again
How many
unless I
times
get
have
into
you
the
been
open. Oh, at least a dozen, maybe 15.
Have you been on that many?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're right up
well,
there.
not until recently. Remember, we had a little bit of a gap, but I
Right.
came here maybe 6 months ago, and
Yeah.
but it had been a couple of years. You know, life goes on, right?
Yeah.
Nice to be back.
The
I'm a
Hummel report.
little disappointed I didn't get any ice
You'll
cream
get ice
yet.
cream
All
after
right.
the show. After the
Okay.
show, you get ice cream. Ben and Jerry's. I love it.
Good stuff.
Listen, how's the Hummel report going?
Hummel Report's doing great. Many people know we will celebrate our 5th anniversary in
That's
October,
amazing.
which is incredible.
That's amazing.
Because a lot of times we're a 501c3, and as many people out there know, I worked for the Journal for a number of years, then I was with ABC6, and I left them in 2008. But in this economy and everything else, to have a nonprofit that actually survives and thrives, we're pretty proud of. So we're doing some new stuff, and the best part is I get to do my own thing.
That's the amazing thing.
Editorially, I
well,
can
that's
do
where
whatever
I
I want.
messed up. I've been doing this 22 years. May 29th begins my 23rd year.
That long, huh?
And I should have started a nonprofit way back in the day, because what I do is I promote people from Rhode Island, things from everything good about Rhode Island.
Exactly.
And by the way, when I ran for lieutenant governor, my purpose about running was to benefit the state of Rhode Island.
I remember
and
that.
If you think about it, we have a EDC that's supposed to be promoting the state of Rhode Island, yet in the latest poll had us only 18% of the population likes even being in the state.
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very tough to do business. You know, the sad part is Rhode Island has got so many great natural assets
Exactly.
going for it, the beach and everything else, but it's just this
And the
whole
weather.
culture of...
And the weather. You
Exactly.
think about it. We don't get...
Well,
we-
not the
we-
last month, the weather.
Well, wait a minute. Come on. We get a hurricane every once in a while. Look at down in Florida. They had Pensacola, Florida had something
the
like
floods.
18 inches of rain in one day.
Exactly.
And then the Midwest got all those tornadoes. Then California, and Oregon, they got mudslides and they got fires and everything else. We get a hurricane every 10 years.
Yeah.
We have the best weather. We have all 4 seasons. We have so much going for us, and we're such a little state. We should be the front runner in the country as far as clean government and everything good about government.
But I've been here 33 years, and you've been here a lot longer. It doesn't seem to change. We've seen all of the political, every couple of years it's somebody new. Of course, they just had the raid on the Speaker's office, and that made national news. Every time this happens, my friends in California are like,
Right.
what are you people doing there?
Oh, sure.
And it's all over the country.
World. It's
Yep.
all over the world. It's amazing. And every one of them comes in, they'll talk about, oh, I'm a reformer, I'm going to straighten it out, and they don't.
Fox was the reformer. Harwood was the reformer.
They're all
Yeah,
reformers.
Exactly.
But it just doesn't happen. And power corrupts, especially ultimate power or the power that the speaker has is just way too much.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolute power.
Yeah.
And I said that when I ran for lieutenant governor, I slammed Fox back then, and strangely enough, 3 days after I slammed them, they come out with a poll on the election, and they had Roberts at 35%, and they had Healy at 23%, and they said it was and he preempted by saying that it's a horse race. 35%, 23%. So I'm waiting. I must be up there then. If it's a horse race, 35 and 23 for Healy. So Venturini's got to be in the 30s if it's a horse race. No mention. 42% undecided.
Oh, I remember that. And then they said later, we left you out. We forgot.
Yeah, they forgot me. And lo and behold, that was a Wednesday.
The pollster, yeah.
That was on a Wednesday, and the pollster's wife, the next Monday, is in the paper with a different last name, gets a job at the EDC at $95,000.
Hey, what a shock, huh?
Isn't that strange?
What a shock. Yeah, I just think the problem with the
That's
politicians.
Rapley, by the way.
Yeah.
That's Rapley.
Yeah, Judy Chung.
Yeah.
That's his ex-wife.
Oh, now it's his ex-wife. She got the job.
I think the problem with the politicians, though, is that I think they get in there and you get comfortable. And you get everybody's, particularly at the congressional level, yes, sir, no, sir, and they have all the kind of the budgets to go. And the power of incumbency is very difficult to overcome, particularly in this state.
They should have two things got to go or got to change. The master lever's got to go.
Right.
Absolutely got to go. The only way the state, folks, has got to change if you get rid of the master lever. And the other thing that's got to change is it's got to have term limits on all these congressional candidates, the senators and the congressmen.
Well, I love that Senator Nesselbush, who said they needed to study it more. They abolished it into committee, which was the death knell. Well, what more do you need to study? It's been going for 51 years.
I ran against Donna Nesselbush. Very nice person. She was the forerunner for the gay marriage thing. She said how much it was going to make for the state of Rhode Island, and it's going to be.
How are we doing with that?
Yeah, exactly. How many? It was going to the economy. It was going to. Oh my God! It was going to be.
The issue I had with that, and I got a lot of grief from the politically correct people, and I still maintain this. Gordon Fox and people like Nesselbush. That's a conflict of interest. They're lobbying for something that absolutely benefits them.
Exactly.
And you look now at Gordon Fox and you think he talked about my Marcus and I can finally get married in the state. I don't begrudge him gay marriage, but do you know how many chits had to be cashed in to get that through?
Exactly.
And you don't know. Now we don't know.
How much
Gordon
time
Fox,
they spend on it? They don't spend
Exactly.
nearly as much time. If they spent that much time on getting the economy going in the state and getting businesses, attracting business in the state, we'd be number one instead of 49.
If it had been for anything else, you would have said conflict of interest, take him to the Ethics Commission. But everyone, politically correct, we can't talk about it because it's
I
gay
couldn't
marriage.
talk about it during the campaign. I was afraid to. I was afraid to
Exactly.
say that this woman's running. She's gay and she wants to get married, and it's got to be this big deal,
Right.
and it's got to bring so much to the economy that gay marriage. And again, she's a nice person. I like her as a person, but this is bull. This is bull crap.
But you see how much is coming out now about Gordon Fox that people were kind of looking the other way, and now it's the house of cards. Because let's face it, Gordon Fox is no Clarence Darrow, but he knows how to hold a fundraiser. And so he's making a lot of money, and a lot of people were falling in line. And the thing that really aggravated me was, you look at Angel Tavares and Gina Raimondo, they were all there during that campaign.
Right.
It's not that they didn't sit out, or it was Cicilline. They were there pounding on the doors, and now when they go to him and they say, well, how do you feel about this? Well, it's very sad. It's very sad. It's not an error in judgment on their part.
Right.
And it would have been easy, Bob, for them to just sit out.
Stay
And
away from it.
People knew last fall that Fox was a house of cards waiting
Right.
to fall. And they put their support behind him anyway. It was spineless.
Now I understand Fox, somebody's been trying to contact Fox, and Fox has not taken his call.
Cicilline. Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think there are issues. I've heard that
You
story.
think the other
too.
way around.
Well, I've heard there's issues because a lot of this revolves around some of the loans that were given out during
Right.
the Cicilline administration. I just think when the feds go into these things, and you and I have seen these investigations long enough, they chip away, and they're trying to get somebody to flip on somebody else.
Somebody
and
else,
so
yeah.
the investigation that we reported on a year ago, and we had done a lot of this on the Hummel report, a year ago focusing on Gordon Fox, well then all of a sudden they begin to get a little bit more and a little bit more, and the feds are not on any timetable other than their own.
Right.
They're like sometimes on the Kremlin 5-year plan. It's like they get
Well,
this
they got
done.
unlimited resources.
Yeah.
Unlimited money. They can do anything they
Well,
want.
remember during Buddy Cianci, they indicted back during Plunderdome. The initial indictments were back during 1999. Then it was another year before Frank Careni got indicted, and then it was another year before Cianci got indicted. And it was, you know what? You make them sit and sweat.
And hope somebody rolls.
Yeah. And in Buddy's case, Frank Careni never rolled.
Right.
In this case, Gordon Fox, I mean, I don't know if he's rolling or not, but I heard, he's not a tough guy when the feds and the subpoenas show up, right? And there's some other people involved who I've heard have been very cooperative, shall we say.
Really?
Yeah.
So when the crap hits the fan, you think there's more coming?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think there may be higher targets. And look, there's been an awful lot of speculation, I think, about what direction it's going. We just don't know. But what we do know is when the IRS shows up, they're thinking about unreported income.
Sure.
The other thing is, who wears an IRS jacket? You see the FBI and the ATF. These guys show up with calculators and pocket protectors. Where would the IRS? Where else would you wear that jacket except on a raid?
Exactly.
I said they printed them just for the raid.
Wow. Well,
You'd
they
never
put
wear that to Chili's on Friday night, would you?
No.
We're going in.
I wouldn't even wear it then, even on the raid, because the IRS would be the first person you figure.
I've never seen an IRS jacket before. So
I thought I was looking at IRA jacket.
Exactly. But part of it is, look, the federal government does not like when you don't report your income, and I think in this case there is a little bit of that. So we'll see.
All right. What about Cicilline getting his license back? The other.
Oh, John Cicilline. I got to tell you.
What is that all about?
John Cicilline, for those of you who don't know, the brother of the mayor and the son of Jack Cicilline, who I thought was a great lawyer for years, went to federal prison for basically and voluntarily gave up his law license. Now all of a sudden he's magically back. What's astounding is not only did the Supreme Court grant him his license back after a federal prison term,
right, which
and
makes no sense.
You're licensed for a reason. Doctors are licensed, lawyers are licensed. Not only did the Supreme Court agree, 80 lawyers wrote on his behalf. Not all lawyers, but 80 people, including a lot of lawyers. And Patrick Lynch, the former attorney general. What do these people collectively bump their heads in the ethics class? And I think, Bob, the reason I'm so upset about this, I think it pollutes the entire pool.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you, I've gotten a lot of calls from defense lawyers very upset that he's back. And what I'd heard, we're taping on a Monday, back in court like he was the conquering hero.
Wow. Like nothing happened.
Yep, and some of the people involved with him in what got him in trouble are back with him now.
Now, didn't he had trouble in Providence itself? Wasn't it something
He
about
had problems because he wrote
a
a check, $75,000, that his brother, the then mayor, claimed not to know that it sat in a drawer. It was supposed to satisfy a mortgage.
Right.
And it sat in a drawer, never got. So the city of Providence was out the money, and he also never had to answer for that, and it never got paid.
Wow, $75,000. And my mayor goes
That's
to
chump
jail
change.
for $1,200.
Your mayor being Brian Serold.
Brian Serold.
Exactly.
And my boss for a time. And I'm not unproud to say it. I mean, he was a good mayor, but he had his little problem.
Couldn't get his law license back either, though.
And that's what I was leading to. He never got his law license back. He did not do anything against his law practice.
Let's look at the Supreme Court, though. Maureen Goldberg, Frank Flaherty, former mayor of Warwick.
They're all politicians.
Yeah, but Paul Sattel, former state rep, Gillen Deglia. I know all of these guys, and I'm really surprised because I'm thinking, don't they know the public perception of this? The one shining light, Bill Robinson, former East Greenwich School Committee member years ago, kind of flies under the radar. He said simply, this guy doesn't deserve his license back. So what are the other four seeing that we're not seeing? It was really disappointing.
But haven't they set a precedent? Maybe Brian Serold don't have to sell used cars anymore, or new cars.
Well, I think his time is kind of flown. I don't know whether he's going to go back at his age and try to do it. But I think it does set a bad precedent. And I just think that they could have sent a strong message. And he's not been out of the federal. You have to wait the 5 years?
Yes.
This is like on parole. It's like the first crack He gets it. It's not, Mr. Cicilline, I think we need a little bit more time for, this
Right,
to
let
sink
it-
in.
let it
All-
ride,
it's
let it
boom,
ride.
and he got it.
It hasn't been 5 years, has it?
Well,
Or just about.
Yes, 5 years since he did 18 months, and then you have to wait 5 years
After the 18 months.
after he's out of jail. Yeah. 2009, I think he got out.
it? Wow,
yeah,
is that long
time
ago?
goes by.
But that's amazing.
And this whole sob story about my parents had to take care of my kids, and I feel very,
please.
when they're in the middle of it. And the other thing is, look, you get convicted on the charges, but you think this is the only time something like, I had an
No, that's
error
the
of
only time you got
judgment.
caught.
And who's going to hire this guy now? Or do you think, he's got an in with the judiciary. He certainly
Maybe
looked
you
the
wanna
other
hire
way.
him.
Maybe this is the guy you want. I just think it stains the entire
It stinks.
judiciary.
I think it stinks.
It's bad.
And it goes back to what has happened time and time and time again about the perception of the state of Rhode Island. We are the most corrupt state in the country, next to New Jersey maybe. We're one of the most corrupt states in the country. That's not my perception, but that's a lot of people. I do a lot of traveling, and I hear it all the time. Oh, you're from Rhode Island. Oh, that's the corrupt capital of the world.
When I went to school in North Carolina, everybody said, Rhode Island, now, are you connected to the mainland? You have to get out there by boat?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other.
No, we're one of the 50.
That's another thing. People think it's part of Long Island, whatever.
Exactly.
Nobody knows geography. That's another story for another day. How
the kids these
education
days,
system in this country stinks. It's terrible. And you look at the Asian people, and I just come back from Asia.
Yeah.
You look at the Asian.
How was your trip?
Lovely.
Good.
It's a good trip. It's a great part of the world. People are very friendly, genuinely very friendly, and most of them are Buddhist, and they just smile all the
You
time.
couldn't get the Buddhist to help you with your pain?
They're happy. Yeah, I know it.
Forget the medical
No,
marijuana. The Buddhist
I
could
got a
get
lot
you
of
to another
massages.
state.
I got a lot of massages.
Were you in excruciating pain the whole time over there?
No.
All right, maybe you need to go back for another
Yeah, I'm
visit.
going to go back.
It
I'm
could
go-
relieve your pain.
I'm going back again. It's a long flight, though. It's a very, very long
You must have been in traction by the time you get off the
Oh,
plane.
my God. It's like 27 hours after when you're done. It's like 27 hours.
Yeah, for a Rhode Islander, can you imagine 10 minutes in the car is long? 27
Oh,
hour
yeah.
flight. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I met at least 8 people from Rhode Island over there.
Really?
Yeah. And not even in Bangkok, in Pattaya, which is just a small, a city, but it's not nearly. It's only like 80,000 people.
They weren't on work release, were they?
No. But people go over there because it's so inexpensive to live there.
Yeah.
You can live there for $500 or $600 a
I
month.
think if you can survive the plane trip, the rest is smooth sailing.
Oh, it is.
Right?
It is. And I had left 2 days before that plane went down.
Wow.
I
In
left on
Malaysia.
a Wednesday. I returned I got back home on a Wednesday. That happened on a Friday.
Wow.
And they flew right over that area.
They ever going to find that plane?
Not in the next 6 months, I don't think. They'll find it. They'll find it.
You think so?
They'll spend
It's a lot
$200
of
million.
for what?
Oh, they've already spent something like $60 million.
What I don't understand is the Australians are getting involved. What do they have? They're pouring $60 million in. It's like, why?
Because they want to be the one to find it.
Why?
To be the
I
one
feel
to find
badly for the families, but don't you think most of them have come to grips with the fact, they never found Amelia Earhart, right?
Right.
At some point, you got to say, it's not happening.
Especially where it went down. It's such an isolated area. There's not a lot of boats that even go in that area. There's certainly not a lot of flights that go over that area.
Exactly.
It's just way
It's
out of the way.
mystifying, though, with the technology we have today, that something could just fall off the face of the earth.
Well, that's why they've got to stop them from being able to switch off the GPS.
Right.
So they can know where the plane is. They can
At all times.
manually switch it
Right,
off.
and they can go back and say, okay, at this point we had it there.
Right. If they have it where it's automatically on and stays on, like an OnStar thing, the satellites would have had it right all the way.
Hey, maybe they need to talk to the car companies about OnStar for the planes. It
OnStar.
could be a breakthrough.
OnStar for the planes. Sorry. So what else you working on?
Oh, I can't tell you specifically, but
No?
we got a couple of things. We got some Gordon Fox follow-ups, which is good. And just basically, my goal, a lot of people say, are you following the circus mishap and that type
Oh,
of thing?
God, that's sad.
I do stuff that nobody else is doing, so
Right.
we don't follow the pack. And so generally, and it's kind of investigative reporter superstition. If I tell you, then all of a sudden people hear, and then the
They
problem.
jump on it, too.
Well, either that or you're following somebody in surveillance, and they're like they get wind. Oh, Hummel's after me or whatever. The strangest thing though is after all these years, I still don't get. I get calls from people saying, hey, Hummel, you following such and such? And I'll be like, no, why? Somebody said, hey, Jim Hummel's after it. Like I don't know whether they make it up or, hey, Hummel's on it, so you better watch.
They do.
So I take that maybe as a badge of honor. But we got a couple good things in the works.
But how do you feel when you nail somebody, like happened with that fireman from Providence?
Oh, that Tim Whitehead. Yeah,
well,
I mean, that's the score. But you know what?
He gets nailed, but he's still getting his pension.
Yeah.
Because-
Well, no, they took it away.
They did.
They did take it away. And he's fighting it now, and he's filing a lot of lawsuits. But
that's
they
ridiculous.
suspended it. Well, from an investigative reporter standpoint, that is really the culmination. A lot of people don't see the work that goes into it. Now,
No.
Tim White had gotten some good, for those who don't know, he's weightlifting and they got all the undercover video. By the time we get to the ambush interview, what I like to call it, we know the answers to all the questions.
Sure.
We're not, it's
Well,
not
they're dead in the water. When you're asking them questions at
when
that
we
point,
show up, it's usually not a good day.
it's not a good day for them.
Right.
So it's a bad day. And how do you feel when you're going? Is that your like a high? Is that a high for you?
I'm kind of in the zone when I do it, and it's funny. I've been in ambush situations where I tone everything out. We actually got Gordon Fox on the floor a year ago, and he confirmed. This is why people don't like people talking to reporters, because he kind of threw up all over himself, admitting that he'd been questioned by an agency.
I remember that. I remember that.
And it wasn't the FBI, but it was probably HUD. And I'm sure Larry Berman, his spokesman's in the background. Like, what is he saying? And a lot of people were all around listening, and I didn't realize that till I went back and looked at the tape. Because when I'm focused in on you, I'm kind of locked in, and I'm just trying to see whether you're going to tell the truth with me or not.
Sure.
Because I usually know the answers to the questions before I ask them. But yeah, if you execute, I kind of run a seminar for investigative reporters called The Art of the Ambush.
Really?
And you've got to be able to be in the right place, the right circumstances. These reporters who run up and some guy's sitting in a car and they're like, interviewing, the guy could just drive away.
Right.
We've waited days for the right set of
and
circumstances.
you've got to keep them so they don't have an escape.
Well, he can't run away.
You don't have an escape
Yeah,
route.
you got to box him in.
Right.
To be able to do that. So,
And
it's
that's
insider
a
baseball.
talent. Now,
Well, you know what? They don't teach you that at journalism school. You learn. I got to tell you, the one guy, the late Bob Kramer, he died just about 6 months ago. Great reporter at the Providence Journal. When I went into television, actually before, he taught me. Here's a great tip. He said, if you're staking somebody out and you're alone. Now, normally I'm with a photographer,
Right.
but if I'm alone, he said, get into the passenger seat. And I thought, wow, why is that? He said, if you sit in the passenger seat, you could sit there for 10 hours a day and people would just think, oh, he's waiting for somebody. You sit in the driver's seat and you're in a neighborhood, they don't know you, they think you're a child molester. You're sitting there waiting.
Right.
And I switched out cars, I used suits, I dressed in sweats. It works every single time. You got to obviously, people have to wear a baseball cap and people, so they don't recognize you.
Sure.
But when you sit in the passenger seat, it kind of deflects all of the attention. Oh yeah, guy's still waiting for somebody. Yeah, it's been about 10 hours. Yeah, he's a very patient guy.
Years ago when I was with the Sorority administration, he allowed me, the good thing about him, and I liked the guy, and I like I said, he did a lot of good things. He allowed me to do anything I wanted to do, and I found out that people were stealing gas from the city. So I borrowed a van.
Which has happened again recently.
Exactly, but on a small scale. This
Exactly.
is big time.
Yeah.
I took home the scrolls for the previous months, and I'm a big statistical guy. And I was looking at them, and how do you put 20 gallons of gas in a car that takes 16.7 gallons? It's not possible.
Every day.
And worse than that, the guy went in at 22 minutes to 12, and he put 17 gallons in a 16.7 gallon tank. And then 22 minutes later, he put 20.8 gallons in the same vehicle, supposedly vehicle. And he was a cop. And he was a fireman. And I ended up clocking. I had him on tape, along with a whole bunch of other people. I put a truck there, a van there, and I set a camera up, and I just left it there.
Wow.
And for 8 hours of taping, and then I took the tape back.
We should take you on as an associate producer. Do you have a strong bladder?
Yeah.
That's very, I don't want to get personal here, but that's very important in investigative
I
reporting.
know,
You
I
can't
know.
be waiting
No,
and
I
waiting
looked
and
up-
waiting,
Yes.
have a big one, and then all of a sudden you go take
You
a
gotta
leak,
go
and
take
the
a
guy,
leak.
there he goes.
Yeah,
right?
no, but I caught a bunch of them. I said to Brian, we got a big problem here.
And did he crack down on it?
Oh, what we did, we had to change the whole system. The alternative was to nail all the 22 of them, which were firemen, cops, city workers.
I
all
bet
these
that
other
went over
people.
well, huh?
But no, we couldn't do it, because if we did it, I would have had to leave the country, never mind
Yeah.
the state, because obviously you know what happens there. They blame me, they don't blame them. They blame me.
Hey, they shoot the messenger. Well, that's an interesting concept.
The guy that was taking the 18 gallons of gas or 17 gallons of gas and the 20 gallons of gas in 22 minutes, He had a pickup truck. He pulled the pickup truck up. He had a 55-gallon drum on the back. He poured gas in the thing. You know, waited. And so somebody else is coming to get gas. He finishes. He leaves. And he comes back 20 minutes later and grabs another 20
These guys think
gallons.
they're never going to get caught. That's what blows me away.
Well, they look at that. You know, some people, they're cops, they're firemen, whatever. They think they're beyond
Entitled.
getting caught.
Yeah.
Well, look at Brian Sorrell. Same thing. He had cops mowing his lawn. He had cops driving him around. Look at Buddy. I mean, all these people, same thing. They get
Got to
to
get
the
into
point,
that mentality.
They get to the mindset that nobody's going to touch them. They're totally untouchable.
Do you ever hear from him anymore, Brian?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Is he living in the area? Or?
He lives in North Providence, from what I know.
But was working selling cars or something
He was
years ago.
Rodman Ford. He was working selling pickup trucks.
Probably
I heard.
just glad to be kind of out of the spotlight, right?
Hey, look, you know, I want you to hang around because I got to interview this other man here, and he's an interesting guy, and I want you to be part of the interview.
Oh, I don't know
How's
about
I
that.
want you to
I'm
be
not
my
good at
co-host.
asking questions.
I want you to be my co-host. Give us a clip. We'll be right back on An Hour with Bob with Jim Hummel and Derek Shapiro. Before we get to Derek, I want to ask you one more thing.
Sure.
Channel 10, Channel 12, what's going on there?
Big frittata, I'll tell
That
you.
is a weird thing. Who bought?
Media General, which
Bought
owns
Channel 10.
10, bought Lynn, which owns Channel 12 and 64.
Now,
And so,
what did Lynn just buy recently before this? Didn't they
don't know,
buy?
did they?
They bought something else, didn't they?
They-
purchased some television stations.
Yeah, some.
in another part of the country.
Yeah, somewhere
But
else.
it's astounding that Media General would have bought. I mean, they are notoriously cheap to begin with, but somehow they came up with $1.6 billion. The question is, under the FCC, you can't
own two
you can't own
stations.
two stations. So the question is, and this is what viewers, whether it'll change immediately, what happens to the stations? Do they get rid of 10 or do they get rid of 12 and 64?
Right, because you get rid of 10, you get rid of the number one station in southern New England. You get rid of 12, you get rid of maybe the most profitable.
Making good money, making a run on the ratings, and has 64. So you really
Right,
look at it
you
as
got
a
a
package
package,
deal,
exactly.
and has made good inroads.
But they
So
have to get rid of.
They have to get rid of one. They're
One
just
or
not
the other.
going to
They
keep.
can't-
Yeah,
they can't-
it's a monopoly otherwise.
Right.
So
Wow.
we'll see. Keep an eye on it.
And that's got to happen before the deal is finalized.
I'm not sure. No, I think they have a certain bit of time afterwards. They're going to finalize the deal, and they say we'll get rid of within a certain period of time.
Oh.
So
Well, what's interesting about our good friend here, Derek Shapiro,
Yes.
Derek has his own internet radio show.
Yeah, DerekShapiroShow.com, DSS TV station. I've interviewed a lot of people from Channel 12. And I actually do movies. I put you in my movie. And TJ DeSanto from Channel 12 is on my holiday movie coming up at the end of the year.
Who is?
TJ DeSanto, the meteorologist, from Channel
Oh,
12.
TJ Del Santo. Okay,
He's in my
yeah.
holiday movie. Tanya Cruz is going to be on my horror movie October 1st. And you're in my current movie, No Lips, No Teeth. See this picture?
Now,
Bob's on
where
this.
do you get where do you get a title like No Lips, No
Well,
Teeth?
I did my character Chucky Seymour. I remember I talk like this, and
why?
you in my movie because
Why?
he was born with no lips, no teeth, and then my character Chucky Seymour was interviewed by you, and it's shown on the movie internet channel yolasite.com. This website right over here. See Bob's picture on here. See,
You got it? You got it?
see Bob's picture on there. Okay. Movie internet channel.yolasite.com is where you can find
Movie internet channel at
No,
Yola.
dot yolasite.
Dot Yola. YOLA site.
.com.
Who's Yola?
Yola is just the name of the site, and it's movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com. Or you can find on YouTube. Just put in No Lips, No Teeth, Derek Shapiro movie, and you're in the movie. I put you in the what do you call it? The trailer, and people are repping you. Like this pizza place in Cranston, I put in the movie is repping you. Okay, watching you, and like when I was taping the movie, they put your theme song in the movie. I put your theme song.
the rumor that the original title was No Hair, No Personality?
Yes.
Was that, and then you had to change it? Is that right?
But I just want to plug this
What do you
movie
think?
too.
No brains.
I'm in this one with James Buddy Love Herring, my good co-host, and he's in No Lips, No Teeth too. And this is 40 at the Bell too, and
40th
40 at the Bell.
at the Bell.
Yes.
Who picks these titles?
Well, this is my friend Jason's movie, but I'm in this movie. Jason's in my movie, No Lips, No Teeth.
Right.
And
A lot of crossing.
a lot of cross, like
references,
like how TJ DeSanto's going to be in my holiday movie. Holidays of the Mall, and I've been on
And you'll
Channel
be
12.
doing the weather on Channel 12.
And
Exactly.
the best part is,
And I interviewed Paul Mueller back in the day from ABC 6 News.
oh my
My
God,
compatriot. He's in Tampa now.
The best part of it is he does it with a laptop camera. The
Yes, I
camera
do.
on
Yes,
the
I
laptop.
do. Yes, we taped that movie right over here with my laptop. That's
Quality.
Awesome.
I mean,
Quality.
talking about quality.
It's
Jim.
quality. It is quality. It is
That's
quality.
why we don't have a lot of people in the media these days.
But the sequel's gonna be no lips, no teeth, no hair, no views. No, I'm kidding.
Derek Shapiro, a legend in his own mind.
Yes,
He's a legend.
yes. And you are too, Jimmy. I'm
Nice
telling
to see
you.
you.
And Bobby. Yes, I love you guys.
Derek, so you can see it any time, right?
And you can say anytime. Again, movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com. You'll see Bob. Do you remember in the scene where
I've never
where
seen
I
it.
kissed your hand? Okay.
You what?
Do you remember my character Chucky Seymour was trying to like shake your hand?
He's
and kiss your
actually
hand?
blocked that out of his memory.
Exactly. But my character Chucky Seymour did it in the movie.
Kiss my hand?
Do you remember that we did the scene and I tried to kiss your hand in the
Oh,
movie?
you tried to kiss
yeah.
my hand.
Yeah, you said,
Oh,
no, get that away. It's all in the trailer, too.
The
you know?
painkillers are blocking it out right
Exactly.
now.
Exactly. It's the marijuana thing that was it's
The
blocking you out.
marijuana thing. What do you think of marijuana? What do you think of legalized marijuana? Oh, you must be in favor of it.
Well, I think if Chucky Seymour can, that'd be a whole different
Well,
movie.
you can't do it with no lips.
Exactly.
How can you?
No lips, no teeth, no
smoke the
marijuana.
What do you think? What do you think? Of
I think they
legalized
should legalize all drugs, and then it would, and that blows people away when I say that. Do you know how much pressure that would take off the prisons, the economy, and all of that, and all these wars on drugs? Put that money into something that we can really
yeah, but
use.
okay, you do that, and here's what happens to all the people. They just go whacked out, and they just laying all over the ground.
I think there would be a lot less of that than you think because it's not the forbidden fruit, and I think you put your money into education and treatment rather than putting people in jail.
No, I think that there's a certain percentage of the population that are just plain weak, and they would just do it, and they just
Either
get
whether
themselves
it's
screwed up.
illegal or not, but Bob.
Yeah, but they can't all get it.
Yeah, but everybody's required to drive with insurance now. What percent of the population doesn't have insurance? Like
20?
10, 20%, right?
Especially in
can
this
you
state.
can you legislate it? So I understand the heroin and the cocaine, and it's not that. I just think that all drugs. Hey, listen, you legalize them, and then it would take. Nobody wants to do that because it's politically incorrect, and it also would take a huge hit on the law enforcement and other people who are fighting the drugs.
Right. In other words, they benefit by it.
Exactly. I mean, I don't take drugs. I haven't taken drugs. I grew up in an era where a lot of people did take drugs. I don't advocate
too,
it for
and I
my
don't.
kids, but I just think the whole system is set up wrong.
Oh, it's wrong. It's wrong because they don't, in my opinion, they don't really enforce it.
Right.
If they really enforced it, you know what they got to do? And I've always said this: take the whole Jewish population, move them, give them 10 miles to the border, the whole American-Mexican border, and let them patrol it. We'll never have anything get in the country, and it would eliminate all the problems in the Middle East because now you'd have the Muslims fighting the Muslims. The only thing is, obviously, Jerusalem, they would never leave the Holy Land. But the fact of the matter is, the Jewish people are the best at maintaining their border and controlling their border.
Well, I'm Jewish too. See, I'm maintaining my border right over here.
This is border. All right, folks. Thanks for spending an hour with Bob. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very
Derek
much. Thank
Shapiro,
you.
Nice to
and
see
of
you.
course, Jim Hummel.
Get me in the open.
All right, get him in
Come
the open.
on,
Now,
put me in
what's
the open, too.
What's
Me
the
too.
what's the your website?
HummelReport.org.
HummelReport.org. And Thursday you do a live report, right?
I do on WPRO.
WPRO. What time? What you doing on?
7:40 a.m.
Why so early?
Because that's when everybody's getting ready to go to work.
Go to work. Yeah, they're on there.
Or they're in the car going to work.
All right, folks. Thank you for spending an hour with Bob. My next show will be during my 23rd year on television.
Wow. Only seems like 53 years.
May 29th, 1992.
Are you bringing in a cast of? Who's your first guest? Who was your first guest? You remember?
Yes, I do. It was a woman and one of these. What is she called? One of these people who
Wheelchairs?
does the readings and all that.
Oh, psychic.
Oh yeah.
A psychic,
Tarot card
and I
reader.
had.
Well, congratulations for your 23 years in TV.
Thank you very much, Jim Hummel.
Are we still on?
We're still on.
Oh, I thought it was.
We're done. We wrapped up.
The bump shot. Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Done about 5 minutes ago.